Google is now selling a literal AI spam machine. Google advertises Opal as ideal for creating scaled AI content like, and this is all in quotes, optimized AI blog posts, fake imagery, AI travel planning content. And so this is Opal. This is going viral in SEO right now, in the SEO community right now. So this is what Opal is. This is from Google. This is from the keyword from Google. Oh my gosh. Yeah, of course this is going to anger people in SEO. So Google writes, Google Labs released Opal, a no-code way to develop mini apps. From automating tasks to analyzing data, there are countless ways we've seen people try Opal. Here is a closer look at just a few examples. 1. Automating the hard stuff. One trend we've observed is a shift from simple apps to complex multi-step workflows. For example, people are building apps that streamline research, automatically extract data from the web, analyze findings, and save results directly into Google Sheets. That one seems really dangerous given the high rates of hallucination. But let's keep going. This is Google's Opal. This is from Google. Make sense of data. Create powerful tools to make sense of data and generate custom reports. Create repeatable workflows, automate tasks like weekly newsletter updates, contract redlining, and meal planning. And here we go. Number 2 is creating custom content. So Google, before I even read this, there's this policy called scaled content abuse. And I had somebody hit by this policy, Julian Goldie. He was on the show yesterday to talk about this. He was hit. Not only was his website hit, but all of the websites connected in his Google Search Console were also hit because he got hit by the scaled content abuse policy. So this is the policy. This is what it says. Scaled content abuse is when many pages are generated for the primary purpose of manipulating search rankings and not helping users. This abusive practice is typically focused on creating large amounts of unoriginal content that provides little to no value to users, no matter how it's created. Examples of scaled content abuse include, but are not limited to, using generative AI tools or other similar tools to generate many pages without adding value for users. Right there, that's literally the number one thing. And so this is what the Opal announcement says. Number 2, for something that you can use Opal for, this is from Google, creating custom content. Creators and marketers have also quickly adopted Opal to help them create custom content in a consistent, and here we go, scalable way. It literally says scalable here. Here are some of the top examples we've seen. Marketing asset generators, tools that take a single product concept and instantly generate optimized blog posts, social media captions, and video ad scripts. Generate optimized blog posts at scale. That is what Google wrote. And then there's dynamic visual tools, applications that produce composite media, such as generating an image and overlaying it with custom text for personalized campaigns, interactive storytelling, apps that help writers brainstorm narratives, generate scripts, and even produce accompanying audio voiceover. People are not happy about this. So what I originally read, Google is now selling a literal AI spam machine. That is from Nate Hawke. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name properly, Nate. And so this is going viral. And then Nate followed up and he said, while Google rakes in the cash from selling AI spam machines like Opal, all that slop is drowning out real human creators from the web. And he quoted this woman, Chrisy Homemade Hooplah, who wrote, part of the reason my blog has lost traffic is that people have published courses teaching others how to generate all my text and images with AI, create fake female personas like a young mom or grandma, and launch multiple domains stuffed with the recycled AI content. They then churn out thousands of promo images and flood Facebook and Pinterest hundreds, if not thousands of times a day with automated spam. It only takes them a few hours to set up, and they just let it run endlessly, polluting the web. There are many people doing this, single-handedly ruining Pinterest because they're hoping they can get a slice of a pie that their own actions are causing to spoil. And all of this because the tech industry not only rushed to widely release these tools at an unsustainable $0 cost, but also trained them on my work without consent or compensation, making it effortless for others to exploit. 3 years in, I've lost all of my savings and will likely lose my house soon. Damn. Many in the online space are facing the same fate. I get that most people reading this won't care because they love what AI does for them, but that doesn't make how it was trained, how it's been marketed, or how it's actively being used any less wrong for those that have been victimized by AI, whether that be morally or legally. All right, so this is going viral in SEO. That sucks. Chrissy's story, that sucks. Actually, so Barry Schwartz shared this on Search Engine Roundtable, and Google got back to Barry Schwartz. And Google, this is literally a statement from a Google spokesperson to Barry Schwartz. This Google Labs experiment helps people develop mini apps, and we're seeing people create apps that help them brainstorm narratives and first drafts of marketing content to build upon. In search, our systems aim to surface original content, and our spam policies are focused on fighting content that is designed to manipulate search while offering little value to users. All right, so what do I think happened here? I think whoever wrote this post on the keyword about Opal, Google has a lot of policies, and it's possible that whoever wrote this didn't know about the scaled content abuse policy or what's going on. It's possible. I'm just guessing. Google's a huge company, tons of people. And this was actually in an announcement. This was in an announcement called Opal is now available in more than 160 countries. And actually, it says that the author is a senior product manager at Google Labs, which is kind of different than being on the spam team for Google search. So it's very possible that this person just didn't know, and then maybe the other manager who's an even more senior product manager who read it over didn't know as well. And these things happen all the time within big companies. But it is really frustrating because lots of people put up blog posts, they get hit, it affects the rest of their Google Search Console. And all of this AI content as well is hurting people like Chrisy. This stuff has to be super frustrating. When I look at things like this that are going really viral, just from an SEO perspective, not even from, and I talk about problems with AI all the time on the show, but also just when I look at this and I think, should this be used for AI? Should this be used for SEO? If I am thinking about it from the people who are building Google search, and I am approaching it from that perspective, which I believe if you want to do good SEO, approach your content from somebody making an algorithm for search. What do they want? How can you give them what they want? And I don't think that they want thousands of pages of unchecked AI content that is likely to hallucinate, despite what a Google Opal article says. I don't think that they want that. I think that they want content that is checked and content that is factual and content, of course, that is useful and valuable. And I like to approach things from first principles in that way. The fundamental truth of search, and now not even thinking about the people making search, because the people making search are trying to give a good experience to the people who are actually searching. And the people who are actually searching, they want to get factual content that gives them what they want really, really, really fast. And then some of those people might go deeper into the content. They might explore other pieces of content on the website or from the creator, and they might convert. But that happens best if you give people what they want as soon as possible. And it is really useful if it's factual, because the people who are actually searching want factual stuff. And then you get stuff like this Opal announcement, which is confusing a lot of SEOs. And it's really unfortunate. I think it's an accident, an unfortunate accident. But of course it's going to frustrate. Of course this is going to be frustrating to people. I hope that this is changed on the Opal article soon. Doesn't take a lot to change it. Like, if Google is able to issue a statement about this should at least be changed. Remove the word scalable from this. Remove the word scalable from this. And if you're going to say instantly generate optimized blog posts, then just write instead of generate optimized blog posts, say instantly generate optimized blog outlines. That's a bit better. If it's an outline, then you're supposed to fill it in. You're supposed to read over the outline. Outline would have been way better than full-on posts. Yeah, this. A lot of people are talking about this. I had to make an episode about it. Look, if you want to learn how to do SEO, my method of SEO comes from a first principles perspective, which is, what do searchers want? How can I give searchers what they want? And that is what Google wants. It's to give searchers, Google wants to have the best, it's competitive. Google wants their searchers to have the best experience ever, because if they stop having a bad experience, which many people are, I acknowledge that many searchers are frustrated, but the more searchers who are frustrated, the more that searchers are going to leave, and the search landscape will get fragmented and people will stop relying on Google's algorithms. But at the end of the day, as a technology company, the people actually building the technology want the users to be happy. I've made lots of tech. I want my users to have a good experience. Even with this podcast, I do my best to have listeners and viewers have a good experience with this podcast, even though lots of people still get frustrated with me every day. But so anyway, my method of SEO comes from first principles. That is the thing on my shirt, compactkeywords.com. I hope you will check it out. This is all for this episode. This is just a crazy thing that is happening in SEO land, in the digital marketing world. And this episode, 800, is it 860? No way. 860, really? It's not 860, it's 861. Okay. Yesterday was 860. All right. This episode 861. Still 861 days in a row doing this podcast. Thank you so much for watching. If you watch this on YouTube or if you listened on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you for listening. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.